The best Supercoach defender over the last 3 years, Jake Lloyd gets heaps of the ball off the half-back and takes a majority of Sydney's kickouts. I have started without him previous seasons and have found it hard to get him in later in the year. He's only entering his prime now, and he's known for having a very high ceiling. I don't want to miss out on big scores early on in the year like I have previously, so I'll be starting him as my D1 this year. He only went under 100 once last season, and I was strongly advised to pay the price for one of the best Supercoach players in the game. Lockheed Whitfield is a superstar of the game, and he has been giving us big scores for the past few seasons. His biggest knock is that he has a tendency to pick up really weird injuries during games, which throws a lot of low scores into his rolling average, which drops his price. I think you would rather pick a Rory Sloane, who offers similar value this year at less risk. I will definitely want him in my side later in the year, but I feel more confident in starting Lloyd and Lloyd this year. There was news recently that Whitfield suffered another injury setback this off-season, which throws another spanner in the works. I think we can all pick him up for around 500,000 later in the year. Brodie Maynard is a fun footballer to watch, however I think the inflated scoring really helped his average last year. He has a tendency to play a more lockdown role for Collingwood every odd game, which isn't ideal for Supercoach. He is durable and he plays every game, but Collingwood always tend to have injured defenders, so he's not reliable to play a rebounding role every game. We also see the return of Jeremy Howe, and there's also the emergence of Isaac Quaino, who might steal some points off him. For this reason, I don't think he should be training in the midfield group in this year's pre-season. Rory led averaged 117.6 points in the last 5 rounds when he played midfield last year. He's only entering his prime now, and Adelaide need a cool and experienced head in the midfield, with Sloane getting older. He's a ball magnet when he's playing on the half-back flank, so you can only imagine what he can do when he plays a season in the midfield. He is a lock into my side to start the year, as he could potentially be underpriced for the value he will bring to your side this year. 2020 saw Callum Mills complete a mini breakout season, which saw him finish the year as the 11th best defender in Supercoach. He switched between the half-back flank and the midfield, where he averaged 18 disposals in shortened quarters. He could finally complete a full breakout season this year, with word that he will again be a midfielder. At this stage, I am happy to wait and see with Mills, however he does offer a nice point of difference to start the year, and there's plenty of opportunity in that Sydney midfield. Jordan Ridley broke out last year and finished the year as the 7th best defender in Supercoach. He started the year off really well, but he would drift in and out of form game by game to finish the year. He has great intercept marking abilities, however he does tend to play a lockdown role here and there. It looks like he suffered an injury in the off-season and was on modified duties to start off this preseason. I would be hesitant to start him in my side this year, and I feel like he can be picked up later in the year for cheaper. With Caleb Daniel, you know exactly what you will get from him every game. He is a beautiful kick of the footy and plays as a great half-back distributor for the Dogs. He's not the most glamorous pick, but he is consistent and will rarely offer you up a bad score. He has a tendency to miss a game here and there, but he has been very reliable over the last 2 seasons. I think he is a great pick at his price to start the year, and he will offer some safety and consistency in the backline. I can easily see him finish as a top 6 defender, and he's only getting better each year. There have been a lot of articles advising that Zach Williams has been locked in to an inside midfield role at Carlton. However, the coach has advised that they are going to rotate a lot of younger players through the midfield this year. I will wait and see preseason games to see how much time he will get in the midfield compared to the other players. I am leaning more to a yes than no, as he was an elite half-back flanker and has shown a lot of promise when moving into the midfield in the past. He also offers a really nice discounted price to start off the year. I could see him finishing the year off as one of the top defenders, but would really like to watch a practice match before locking him in to my side. Jeremy Howe enters the season as a 31-year-old with a vast injury history, who averaged his best Supercoach average of his career in a year where intercept marking was overvalued in shortened quarters. He hasn't played a full season in a while, and I feel he only has a couple of seasons left in him. I don't like him to start the year off in your side, as you'll be selecting him as a premium defender to play the full season. I believe there are safer and more reliable picks at his price to start off in your side this year. Tom Stewart averaged 115.2 in his last 5 games last year. He is a proven scorer and is an elite intercept marker. He acts as a quarterback in the Geelong defense, which allows him to get plenty of the ball. He's an accurate kick which also allows him to take some kick-ins for Geelong. He is underpriced as he was injured in round 4 where he scored an 18. He scored 151 in the semi-final against Collingwood. I believe he is a safe pick to start the year and offers plenty of value for your side. West Coast don't really have that influential and prolific halfback flanker or rebound defender. However, I still feel that Alex Witherden is maybe a year or two away from being a starting selection. I doubt he'll be a top 6 defender, especially with Hearn still being in the side. I would like to watch how he goes in preseason games before considering him. However, I feel that there are too many great options at or even under his price to warrant his selection. I am leaning more against than for, but I can see why people are getting excited about him at the start of the year. Adam Sard has had plenty of opportunity to break out in the past, but he never really did under Gold Coast and more recently Essendon. He comes to another new team where he needs to earn the trust of his teammates. I think the Carlton defenders will be more likely to utilise Doherty and Newman off the halfback, rather than Sard, and he also has a tendency of going missing during quarters. I don't think he will ever be a top 6 defender in Supercoach, and especially this year, I think he will have more down games than good games. I will stay clear for now. Luke McDonald is a pick that I'm very excited about in 2021. He finished the year averaging 114.8 in the last 6 rounds, and he's known for getting a lot of the ball when he plays loose in defense. He played a Jake Lloyd type role in 2020, which is, as we know, one of the most Supercoach friendly roles we have. I really think he has found his niche and his role inside of North Melbourne and is entering his 8th season inside the system. He could potentially be a Jake Lloyd player for $150,000 less. He is a big yes for me at this stage, however I would like to see how he goes in the preseason games. There is news that Sam Doherty has been prolific in match simulation, and he's been getting heaps of the ball across the half-back and also on the wing. He completed a full preseason and comes in underpriced after coming off with an injury in round 17 last year, where he only scored a 13. He is injury prone though, so I'll wait and see how he goes in preseason games. He offers plenty of value at his price, and he could reward you with really big scores. The biggest knocks on starting Doherty this year is that he is injury prone, and there are plenty of new recruits into defense who could steal points from him at Carlton. I have had Jack Crisp in my Supercoach side over the past 2 years. He gets plenty of the ball, but for some reason, Champion Data sees him as a low impact player. Champion Data doesn't translate his ball-winning ability with Supercoach points in full 20-minute quarters, so I'm hesitant to think that he offers much value this year in starting him. I feel like he only scored well last year because of the inflated scoring. I believe he will average around 85 this year, so I don't think he will provide any upside in selecting him unless he moves into the midfield.